Today's Ask Me Anything is brought to you by Trupanion Medical Insurance for Pets, which incidentally is the insurance I use for my dogs. Question goes out to Sean, who says, "Hi Robert, here is one for your Q&A. How to stop a 2-year-old German Shepherd from alert barking at 5 a.m. when high schoolers are walking past the house to catch the bus. Love your content." So alert barking is something that dogs are going to naturally do, especially something like a German Shepherd. That's just what they're bred to do. They're bred to protect, to guard, to alert. So you're asking a dog to do something that it's not natural, in other words. So what you want to do, you can counter condition it. And counter conditioning is going to make it very benign. So the act of these children walking by at 5 a.m. would be neutral to the dog. And the way to do that is for you not to get upset by it. So if you get woken up, and of course you're going to be slightly upset for being woken up, you're going to yell at the dog or discipline the dog. So what I would do is I'd make a non-issue out of it. So I would say, "Hey, good, thank you, lie down." So our dogs here bark all the time. Somebody's knocking on the door or somebody walks by as well. So the key thing I always do, I say, "Good, thank you, lie down." In other words, it becomes a non-issue. And the more you do that, the more you get the dog to understand that there's no real emotion going to come from you out of the act that he's doing, the less likely the dog's going to want to repeat it. It's not exciting enough. So keep the dog maybe in a crate, put a cover over the crate, get the dog to understand that, you know, whatever your normal getting up time is going to be your normal time to wake and rise and shine and get the dog started. But any interruptions in the middle of the night or early in the morning, make it a non-issue. The non-issue is going to be your best defense, because it's the dog's strongest sense. He's hearing something, smelling something, something is different. He's going to have to wake up. Now, more than likely, if you've had this dog for 2 years and he's been doing it for 2 years, you've kind of done a lot of conditioning for it and he's kind of used to it. If you just got this dog and he's just starting to do it, you've got an easy way to get out of it. And just like I said, it's a non-issue. I got it. Lie down, go back to sleep, and then go about your day. I hope that helps. Question goes out to Daz, 13479. Question says, "How do you train a dog that chases the toy but then just leaves it where it is?" So what you're saying is the dog is not retrieving the ball or retrieving the toy to you. And that is a really common problem with dogs that generally learn one thing. That is that when I bring the ball back to you, all the fun stops and the game stops. So what you want to teach the dog is that bringing the ball to you starts the game, not ends the game. Remember, a dog, even a natural born retriever like a Labrador or a Golden Retriever, will understand to retrieve something, but delivering the object to hand, bringing it back to you, that is a trained behavior. The way we train that, a couple different ways. First of all, I would always suggest using 2 of the identical toys, 2 balls that are the same color, the same size. I would probably buy them on the same day. When your dog chases the one, hold the other one up and start teasing the dog, going, "Hey, where is it? Where's this? And if the dog just runs back to you, walk over to the toy that he's supposed to retrieve, or the other ball, and say, "Get it." And as soon as the dog picks it up, brings it to you, show him that it's a trade. As soon as he brings you this one, you throw the other one. He brings you that one, you throw this one. Just make sure your dog doesn't get both toys at once, because then you lose the game. That's a super, super fun way to teach the dog that game. The other way you can teach the dog that game is to teach the dog the hold first. So put the toy or something, we generally use a dowel, in the dog's mouth. Condition the hold. Let the dog see that this is a really good position. Now you can do it with a toy as long as it's not a squeaky toy or a really squishy toy, because that will make the dog get a little bit cuckoo and a little bit more playful. But if the dog can understand that being in front of you, delivering this object to you is a positive thing, the dog's going to do it every single time. Because remember, that's where he sees the game beginning. He has to bring the toy to you to begin the game. Question goes out to DS, and the question is, what to do when the dog freezes and won't move when trying to walk him on a leash? So that's a common problem with dogs that are either not familiar with the leash or have had a negative experience with the leash. So they're seeing the leash as a correction. So they're seeing you pulling on the leash as a negative, and they stop moving forward, because a lot of people will do that. The dog will lunge forward and they yank on the leash, and the dog pulls back, stops, and therefore interprets what you're doing as an indication to stop. Or they're not familiar with it, and thereby the pressure that's being put on the leash is making the dog respond with freezing and stopping. Easy ways to fix that is one, get your dog to understand that the leash is his friend. So I like to put a leash on a dog like that and run the dog around the yard. Let the dog see I'm going to hand feed the dog, I'm going to play tug with the dog, I'm going to play ball with the dog, and let the dog see that the leash is a positive thing. That's step one. Second thing, if your dog does it when you're walking and all of a sudden you're pulling and the dog starts pulling backwards, don't keep pulling because it's not going to help the dog to learn what you want him to learn, which is that the leash is a good thing. Instead, go next to the dog, tap the dog, say, come on, let's go. Keep the leash loose and just try to get your movement to move the dog. And another thing you can do is have some treats, throw them on the floor in front of the dog. The dog will get up and eat them, then give a slight tug on a leash, say, okay, come on, let's go. And keep it positive, keep it super fun, because that's the key thing to dog training, is to motivate your dog to have fun and to see you as the bringer of all fun things, the delivery of the most fun experience that they're supposed to have. And a leash walk should be fun. Don't make it negative. Have fun with your dog and enjoy training your dog. And if you'd like to see more Ask Me Anything or check out my online dog training, check out my website, robertcabral.com. And check the description down below for a link to Trupanion Medical Insurance for Pets, which is the insurance I use for my dogs.